I'm going to be reading a page every single day for the amount of times I've picked up my phone. And full credits to Sarah Caroli. I think she was the first creator to make a video like this. If you go to your iPhone settings and screen time, you can scroll down and see your pickups. Now, I've been on vacation all week, and if you haven't already, you need to watch the vlog that I recorded while I was on vacation. It's definitely a really fun one. The whole time I was here, I was picking up my phone a lot because it's vacation, I'm chilling, I have way more time on my hands than usual. So my pickups are pretty high for me. Obviously, no hate or criticism if your pickups are this high or even higher. This is just a lot for me in my current phase of life. But my pickups are easily 100 plus. Then I figured, what better time than to force myself to read the Dance of Thieves Duology. For those of you who are like, forced to read, these books are great. Let me tell you, I have tried to pick up these books more than once. Every single time I pick these books up, I get bored within the first 20 pages. I don't think I've gotten past 25 pages of this book. I've tried, I just can't do it. So I'm going to force myself to read my pickups and read these two books in the next like 5-ish days. I don't know how many days it's actually going to be. I haven't done the math. Today is Friday and my vacation actually started Friday of last week. So we're going to do a week from today's pickups. It was 107. Love that for me. I will say I was proud of myself. It was mostly for messages and teams because I did work on Friday, so go me. And then I only picked up for Instagram a couple times and YouTube Studio, which if I'm checking YouTube Studio, it's most likely to reply to comments, which by the way, guys, I reply to almost every single comment that I get. So if you want to chat, I'm very active in the comment section. Anyways, my family is waiting for me at the pool. So I am going to take Dance of Thieves, put it in my pool bag, and we're gonna start and try to read 107 pages today. I'm excited yet terrified, so 107 pages, let's go.
I've been around, but I can't get you out of my head. Try to stray, try to forget, but the thoughts, they seem to drown me instead. I've always wondered what it takes to fill this empty void inside, but now I've realized you were what...
Day 2 was also road trip day, and I had to read 186 pages. Although I accidentally pulled up Sunday instead of Saturday and read 138 pages and got to page 245. Then this morning on day 3, I got started on what was supposed to be yesterday's pages, which is 186. I read a little bit before church, and I did get to page 284, so right at chapter 31. I got a lot of good reading in this morning and then went to Easter service, hence why I'm all dressed up. So let's talk because it's been almost 3 full days of reading this book now. I am almost at page 300 and I have a lot of opinions. Here are 2 big things about why I'm not head over heels in love with this book. First off, our main character, Cassie. It's either Kazi or Cassie. I'm not sure. It's spelled like this. She reminds me a lot of a Miss Selena Sardothian. Only thing is that Selena Sardothian is one of my favorite book characters of all time and no one will ever come close. I will say, however, that I do really like the complexity of her character, and I do like that although we're getting the story mostly from her point of view, we don't know everything on her mind. Like, she does continue to surprise the reader, which I love. I am all for fantasy world politics, only if they don't too closely resemble real life politics. I know that sounds really cheesy, but I like to read fantasy to escape, and frankly, some of the politics in this book really do stress me out, and I don't love reading about them. It is very political, very fragile time of war type setting, and I do think there's a time and place for that, and I do think this author is doing it really well. I just personally don't prefer that kind of storyline. I will say that I do love how there is a good bit of romance in this book, but it doesn't feel like it's taking over the plot. But I can definitely say there hasn't been any huge plot twists. So it's one of those things where I'm enjoying the book, but it's not a phenomenal you need to set down your TBR and pick this up kind of book. I will say I do think there's a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of room for growth, and obviously I'm only a little over halfway through the book, so there's obviously a lot of time for a lot of stuff to happen. I do also recognize that this duology stems from a different story. I believe it's called Kiss of Deception. And I do recognize that maybe I'm missing some stuff from having not read that series first. That might have made it more interesting. But I do think that if it is a duology on its own, that it needs to still be good apart from it. So I'm holding strong to reading this without reading Kiss of Deception. Oh, Stephanie Garber made a comment on this. Y'all, I'm obsessed with Stephanie Garber. Let's finish the rest of my pages for today, and then I believe we're finishing this book tomorrow.
Been around, no one else has got me feeling this way. Every minute, every hour I spend is on you every single day.
So I woke up day 4, got started on my reading, and did the calculations. We finished Dance of Thieves today, and we will be starting Vow of Thieves, but I'll get back to that in a second. Sorry, the lighting's really weird. There's not really much I can do about that right now. I've officially finished Dance of Thieves. I'll be fully honest, I'm not exactly sure how I feel about this yet. I have rated it mentally 3.5 stars. It was the perfect recipe for a perfect book. I really can't pinpoint what's wrong with it. I felt like the book was missing a flair to make it special. I don't know if it was the writing style of the author or maybe just my inability to connect with the main character. I don't know, just something about the pacing of this book didn't feel right with me either. But I'm also going to hold off on giving a final opinion about this book until I've read the second book. So according to my calculations, I need to get to page 77 of this book. So I've already bookmarked where page 77 is so I can get started. I have a couple thoughts going into this. I want to see our female main character grow, and I want to see her grow into someone that's more emotionally available. I feel like maybe why I struggled to connect with her so much in the first book, not because she's so secretive and to herself. I actually kind of like those traits about her. It's just her inability to let other people into her life, and I can't relate to that because I wear my heart on my sleeve. I just really hope that she loosens up a little bit, and not just for the sake of romance. You know, I want her to open up even with her friends. Like, she has a lot of really great friends, and I think there's a lot of really great strong characters in this book series, and I want to see her connect with them. I'm very excited to get started on this. I'm actually currently working on a vlog right now that I'm supposed to be releasing today. We'll see if that happens. Hopefully it does, because I like to maintain a schedule of posting every Monday. I think in between edits, while my computer's like processing the edits and saving them, I'm gonna try to fit in pages here and there, and hopefully we hit page 77 before too late tonight, because I don't want to be up too late tonight. I'm still recovering from vacation. Let's get started.
Something about ya makes me wanna be with you for a long time.
I'll be honest with you guys, last night it got to my bedtime at 10 p.m. and I was about to go to bed, and then I remembered I was in the middle of a reading challenge. I don't know how, I just literally forgot. So right when I was going to bed, I started reading my pages, and now it is the next day. I wanted to wake up early and get my reading done, but honestly, when I woke up, I was so dead tired from being up till almost midnight yesterday, so I just went straight back to bed and woke up right before work. I finished work, I ate dinner, and I'm actually going for a run soon, but while my food is settling in my stomach, I'm gonna start reading here. I am on page 183, and I bookmarked the page I need to get to, which is 303. I think we're about 3 days left, including today, of this challenge. So it's been almost a whole week. Let's just start with that. I'm really glad that I did this challenge because honestly, these books have been really hard for me to read. I'm glad that I'm reading them. They're really good stories, but in all reality, it's not amazing, and these books are kind of longer. So I really did need a challenge like this to kind of force myself to get through them. Here's what my issue is. it's a little too predictable. I was trying to explain to someone why I couldn't get into the books, and it just occurred to me. I was saying things like, well, there aren't really any plot twists, and then when I was telling the story, they're like, oh, well, that's a plot twist. And I'm like, okay, but it's like an overdone one. And I'm not trying to say this author was like copying anyone else. I do think there's a lot of unique takes on some of the tropes and whatever that she's trying to do here. I just personally, like, I'm not that into it. I would just like to get the reading done for the day because I really don't want to be up super late again, and I have stuff I'd like to do. I did the math earlier to do this, so this is how many pages I'm reading today. I don't remember off the top of my head, but this is how many. I did in fact not go for a run because I didn't want to. I read for a little bit and then ended up watching TV with my mom, and here we are again. It's bedtime and I have a good bit of pages left. I have like 70 pages left. I know I can read it in like an hour, but I don't want to be awake for another hour, so joke's on me. You would think I would have learned my lesson every day this week, but no, we are almost consistently, I think, at a 3-day streak of me reading past my bedtime, but that's okay because we're gonna finish these books. I got my nails done. What do y'all think? They're like lavender. What do you think? I like how lavender looks with the rose gold wedding ring. A little bit of advice for readers who are struggling, whether you're struggling to finish a book because it's slow or because you're tired or you're in a reading slump, whatever it is, look up on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever you use, reading insert title. Honestly, changes the game. My last vlog, when I read the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, honestly, one of the best playlists that I literally listened to it nonstop for all 3 books. And then there was, what was the other one? Oh yeah, the Caraval. So I guess just Stephanie Garber books in general. I mean, they're very aesthetically pleasing and extremely vibey. If you're like a mood reader who is there for the vibes and the aesthetics, read Stephanie Garber. But to actually talk about this book, I will say there was a plot twist. I wouldn't call it a plot twist, just the plot is shifting in a direction where I'm excited about it. It feels new, it feels fresh, it feels interesting. The only thing is that no one has spoiled this book for me. No one has told me how it ends. I've not had it spoiled on social media, but I already know how this book is gonna go. I think that's the only issue I'm having with these books, is that they're too predictable for me. And I don't think I'm like the best at predicting the direction books will go. I mean, I don't think I'm bad at it, but I'm definitely not like one of those people who always gets it. If anything, I try not to overthink the direction because I don't want to predict it. I want to be as surprised as I can be, but for some reason, like, anytime something happens, I'm like, okay, this is gonna happen next, and then it happens next. That's just kind of where I'm at with this book right now. Considering I'm over halfway done of the second book of a duology, I mean, it's possible. I'm never say never, but I don't see the author all of a sudden like convincing me that these are 5-star reads. We'll see. Okay, we're gonna playlist it and we're gonna get reading.
Don't know what I'm feeling, don't know how to keep my thoughts straight. Yeah.
It sounds so bad, but I'm just kind of ready for this book to be done. They're good books. They really are. They're just not amazing. Like, they don't have that wow factor. And I literally just read like the most amazing trilogy ever. And I feel like I'm on such a high, and I'm just like expecting to find books half as good as Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy right now. It's 11:25. I'm definitely not waking up early to read, so let's flash forward to me clocking out of work tomorrow and starting tomorrow's pages.
Feels so nice. Butterflies. Wow, yeah. Got me some type of way with every passing day. Don't let it go to waste. Don't know how
have some very good news, and especially good news if you love this duology and you have been dying inside that I'm not in love with it. I really, really like what the author has done. Mind you, I still think the book is very predictable, but I like what's happening. Like, I'm still enjoying it despite the fact it's predictable. And although I have this many pages I need to read, I only have like 40 something pages left of the book. I have a feeling this one's going to be a 4-star. I did decide to go ahead and give Dance of Thieves a 3-star. It was kind of 3.5 stars, but maybe closer to 3. I just really didn't love it, but this one I'm actually really enjoying. It's going to take me like an hour to read, so I'm very pumped to finish it, and we're just gonna enjoy the last couple pages, the last like half hour to hour of reading. We're gonna finish this out on a bang. I might wait until tomorrow morning to give you my actual final thoughts on both of the books together. I often find that that's just best for me to do, so I'll finish it tonight and then we will regroup in the morning.
Let it go to waste. Don't know how much time we have, and it's so hard for me to say what's really on my mind.
And now that I have sat on these books for about 24 hours, I think I can give them an honest, clear-headed review. Let's start off with Dance of Thieves. Off the bat, I'm gonna say this one's definitely a 3-star. I'm sticking with 3-star. It was good. I liked it. It was just way too predictable, even down to the huge like plot twist at the end. The only thing about this book that actually had me needing to stop reading for a second and really process what I just read was the last chapter, which in all reality was just pitching the second book, which I liked more, but I'll get there later. The setting was very nice. The romance was okay. This might stem from the fact that I am a big slow burn girly, but it just seemed like they met and they both fell for each other, and then the whole rest of the book was them deciding whether or not they were going to do anything about it. And that was kind of annoying for me. If I had to define this book in one word, unfortunately, it would be predictable. And now on to Vow of Thieves. I am giving this one a 4-star, although it was still predictable. I enjoyed it more. It was going to be a 3-star up until maybe like halfway through the second to last day, so maybe the last 100 pages of this book really changed my mind. I really did like the whole family coming together aspect of it. If you like originals, I feel like you'll like this book. That kind of idea of like the whole family's getting together to kind of like fight off the bad guys, and I really did enjoy that. I do think this one definitely strayed away from a very stereotypical fantasy, romance, political book. I don't know what else genre to put this in. This one definitely made the book stand out a little bit more to me, and it made it feel more unique. If this book is on your TBR series, definitely go read it. I think it's really enjoyable. I definitely wouldn't go into them expecting an epic fantasy or totally wipe you off your feet. It's just gonna be nice, comfortable, predictable, and sometimes that's exactly what you need. So if that is what you're looking for, then I highly recommend Dance of Thieves and Vow of Thieves.